What's up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingNews.com, and welcome back to another edition of our Kentucky Derby Top 5 Runners, as we've got some changes coming up this week. So we saw some big-time performances last weekend in Louisiana, in Dubai we even did, and obviously Kentucky. Maybe not so much New Mexico and Sunland Park. But anyway, we'll get to the top 5 now. It's getting really exciting as we're down to the last 2 weekends of the major prep races, and then one little prep left in the Lexington. All right, let's get to it. Number 5 on the list. He's been in this top 5 for a while. He's kind of switched spots here and there, but Tapit Trice remains number 5, or remains in the top 5 for another week coming up. Listen, he's been really good in 2 starts. We've seen Todd Pletcher. He's got some nice runners. We'll talk about another one here in just a second. I still think Tapit Trice has a ton of potential. I'm very relieved we're going to see him one more time in the Bluegrass. He was very good in the Tampa Bay Derby. He also was pretty green in that race. Closed home quickly, though. Can he step up and do it again in the Bluegrass? We'll find out next week if Tapit Trice can win the Bluegrass and stay up here ranked in the top 5. But he will be 5 for this week as we go in to another big week of prep races. Number 4, well, it's good to be Todd Pletcher this year in the Kentucky Derby chase. Kingsbarns will be number 4. He debuts into the top 5 this week. I thought he was just fantastic in the Louisiana Derby. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, he walked on the lead and, you know, it was an easy trip. Well, yes, it was. I can't argue with that. But what would you like him to do midway through the race? Go, you know what? This is really easy. Let's just take up and get 10 behind, and then we'll go back and try to do it to really impress all of Twitter. I don't really think that was necessary. I think he just fell on the lead, got the trip, and got the job done, and that's probably why he won by the margin of victory that he won by. But let's not forget, he's won from off the pace as well. This is not a need-the-lead type of horse. I think he'll do what the jockey asked him to do. That race drew. It looked like he was the speed of the race. He broke like a rocket. I mean, a great break from the gate. Took the lead, and that was it. So I don't discount him for having an easy trip. Yes, I realize that's probably why he blew him out like he did, but he is still a horse that is really developing nicely. Kingsbarns is going to be a factor in the Kentucky Derby. Obviously, the other big thing, 3 buyers, 3 progressing buyers. The hundreds would be next. So if he can do that, keep that progression and pop that again, he's going to be tough. And you think about it, if you run a 100 buyer in this year's Kentucky Derby, you got a decent shot to win it. Not many horses have been able to get up to that 100 buyer level. Nice segue. Number 3 is a horse that did run a triple-digit buyer, a 101, and that was a win in the Jeff Ruby Stakes for my number 3 ranked horse. I'm as shocked as you are. 2 fills. I will rank at number 3. It was over a synthetic surface. I get it. That's definitely different from a dirt surface, but he was fantastic in the Jeff Ruby Stakes. That was one of the best preps we've had this season, if not the best. He absolutely destroyed Major Dude on the turn. He passed him like a claimer. And if you watch Major Dude, he kicks on and he's well clear for second. I mean, it was easily a second place finisher for him. 2 fills just tossed that horse aside. Now, his dirt races have not been quite as good, but both of his starts on the dirt haven't been too bad when you really look at it. Or this year, I should say, in prep races. Both of his starts on the dirt been pretty good. He's ran behind some pretty nice horses. I get it. He may have just been a horse that freaked on the synthetic. I kind of think he's a horse that just keeps developing, and he's just kind of there. He's just kind of around. One of our commenters on our YouTube shows said he kind of reminds him of his sire, Hard Spun, and I thought, you know what? Really good comparison. He does kind of remind me a little bit of Hard Spun as well. Look, maybe he's not good enough to win on Kentucky Derby Day. I just kind of feel like he's going to be one of those horses that's going to be around in the end, going to hit the board. I like 2 fills, so I've got him number 3 for this week. We'll see. Maybe we'll see some big-time performances and he will move down. But after that performance in the Jeff Ruby, I'm willing to say 2 fills will at least be underneath on my tickets in the Kentucky Derby. All right, final 2 did not change. Number 2, Practical Move. We'll see him next weekend in the Santa Anita Derby. Listen, I'm not a workout guy one bit, but boy, are they raving about how this horse is working out at Santa Anita. So we'll see. Number 2, Practical Move. I may have called him Practical Joke, but Practical Move, certainly going to be a horse that's going to be pretty dang tough to beat if he can repeat that effort that he showed in the San Felipe. We'll see, though. Santa Anita Derby, going to be a tougher field. We may see Cave Rock. I mean, that's going to be a showdown, so we'll see what happens with him. But as of now, Practical Move deserves to be number 2. And finally, number one, he's been number one in November, in December, January, February, March. April 1st is the Florida Derby. He will be number one on April 1st. Will he be number one April 1st after about 7 p.m. Eastern time? That'll be the question. But it's Forte. Forte obviously has deserved it. I mean, he has checked all the boxes leading up to this, but he has another one to check this weekend. He can't regress. He needs to keep improving. He needs to show that progression. I think he will do it, but we'll see. He does draw post 11 here in the Florida Derby. That is going to be a question mark, but if he's the horse that is supposed to win the Kentucky Derby and supposed to be the favorite in the Kentucky Derby, he should beat that field in Florida, even though he drew the 11, unless something wild happens. So I'm going to keep him number one for now. I expect him to win the Florida Derby. I expect him to be the number one horse heading into the Kentucky Derby. However, we got big prep races left. Things are always changing, so we'll see what happens. I've got Forte number one for one more week. All right, guys. Thanks, everybody, for watching this video. We'll recap it one more time. Number 5, Tapit Trice. Number 4, Kingsbarns. Number 3, Two Fills. Number 2, Practical Move. Number 1, Forte. 3 out of the 5 horses trained by Todd Pletcher. All right, guys. Hit that like button if you like the video. Hit subscribe if you really like it and you want to get alerted anytime we do Kentucky Derby videos like this. And most importantly, we'll see you right back here next week for an updated list of the top 5.
RacingDudes.com is your home for the best free picks for every race, every track across the country. We're ramping up for the 2023 Kentucky Derby, and we want you to join us in the fun. Subscribe to Racing Dudes YouTube channel and click the notification bell so you never miss a single video. Want to make money betting horses? Bet with the Racing Dudes.